Hi everyone, Lisa here. So today is our Imagination Wednesdays. So I'm not really sure what I want to do in my art journal. I think my art journal is more or less just to have fun. But I did see these kind of sitting around, and what these are, I actually got them from Moira. She sent Sandra and I a rack, and in there was Kleenex, and there's like decorative, they're like the decorative Kleenexes. So I was going to use this one, but I don't think it's going to work for what I was kind of thinking of. But there was these flowery ones. Now the flowers on here are a little bit too bright, so I am going to kind of soften the colors just a little bit. And I think I'm going to start with a background. So anyway, what we're going to start off with is gessoing the page. And I already put masking tape in here. I find that the pages are bleeding a little bit. So I just add some masking tape, and I think it might strengthen the pages a little bit. So we're going to jump into fast forward, and I'm going to basically do some gesso, and then I'll do some coloring, and I'll just stop there and tell you what I'm doing. Now I thought I would pull out some gelatos. I haven't played with gelatos for a while, so I thought maybe I would do like a bluish type background. I've got some of these colors that I think will go to really well together. I might add a little pop of yellow and green. So I'm just going to get that, and then I think what we'll do is we'll blend it with some water. Okay, so I put some gelatos down, and the colors I used were watermelon, snow cone, metallic blueberry, margarita mix, and metallic mint. And then I'm just going to take a wet paintbrush, and I'm just going to blend all these colors together. Let's see what we can come up with. It feels like it's just a little flat on color. It doesn't feel like it's as bright as I wanted it to be. It kind of washed out really well. So I think I'm going to come in with some distress stain. I've got some mustard seed, evergreen bough, and broken china. I just want to see if I can brighten this page up just a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm just going to add a little bit of water up at the top, and then I'm going to do pink drips down. And the reason why I'm covering the background is I was debating on putting this whole sheet down, but I think it's going to be a bit much. So I think I'm just going to rip little pieces off of it and then glue it down. So, I'm adding quite a bit of the pink stuff on the top, but I want it to drip down. Oh my God, look at that. That's beautiful. I love that. Can you see that? So let me add some more water, just get it going a little bit more. Okay, so you can see how we have this awesome page going on. Now, I was mentioning that I wanted to put this tissue paper in the background, and I think it looks beautiful. I think it's going to match really well. Now, because I use Distress Stain. Now, Distress Stain is a water-based product. So anything I put wet over top is just going to mush these colors around, and I really like how pretty it is. So how do you keep these colors the way they are and not have to worry about it? I can't put multi-medium over top because it's a wet product. So basically anything I put over top is going to have to be a spray or some sort of dry protective ingredient over top. If I use paint, this would not have been a problem because when paint dries, it's permanent. So for this, The solution is clear acrylic sealer. So I learned this from Aaron, who is Imperfect Impulses. You should check out his channel. He is awesome at what he does. He does lots of art journaling. So anyway, you should be doing this outdoors. I am not doing it outdoors. I'm sorry. I have a well-ventilated area. And oh my goodness, I can't open this. But yes, make sure you do it in a well-ventilated area. And all you do is spray, let it dry, and then come back to it. So I'm just going to spray it. And we're going to dry that. And then
Okay,
we'll be
so
ready
I put
to go.
that clear sealer over top. So I want to show you,
Let me just clean my mess up here. I want to show you that now that I sprayed it with that clear acrylic sealer, my goodness, that's a mouthful. I can spray this, and it did leak a little bit, but it's where I probably didn't get really well on you know, the spray, but you can see it's not going to bleed. It did, you know, come off a little bit, but the I probably didn't dry it enough, honestly, but the intent of the product is still intact. We still have our drip stains. It's not going to smudge too much. So I'm pretty happy with that. So we are going to move on to ripping some pieces of this and, you know, gluing it into the background. You can kind of see that it's going to fade in. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to put in here as well, but so far, I think I'm just going to layer that or kind of on the sides, maybe perhaps. But anyway, we'll just kind of go and we'll see where we come up with. So I'm just tearing the edges because I want a ripped look. I don't want a perfect look here. So I'm just ripping off the edges. And I don't care if like a lot of it comes. I just want it to kind of look imperfect. Okay. So now that I've got that down, I think what I want to do is maybe do a little bit of a whitewash just so that I can push these pansies into the background. They're just a little bit too bright right now, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to grab another piece of paper towel, put this under here, and I'm just going to use my craft mat just to get a little bit of gesso on here, and just a little bit. I don't need very much. And then I'll just whitewash those pansies into the background. Alright, so I think I'm going to add a ledger over top. This ledger mask. This is from the Crafter's Workshop. This amethyst. This is a Heidi Swat Color Shine. Just to maybe bring a little bit of purple out in those flowers. And you can tell I haven't used it in a while. So Ooh, liking that. Okay. Okay, you could kind of see I rubbed off this side. I didn't really care for it on this side. I like it on that side. So I have this damask mask. I have some, let's see, what do I have in here? That's really blue. I've got green. I've got copper and I've got gold. Maybe no. I'm trying to think about what, oh, I've got this blue, this really light blue model. All right, so I couldn't open it, so plan B. I'm just going to take some of this modeling paste that I've made that I've been working through quite a bit. I'm just going to grab just a little bit. I don't need very much. Maybe like that much. That's probably way too much. And then I think I'm just going to ink it up with maybe some paint. What color of paint? Or maybe some spray or distress stain. I've got lots of pink going on. Maybe some evergreen bough. Let's try that. Let's just add a little bit here and see what that does. Okay, so I think maybe to add, I'm not really sure which one I'm going to use, but I think to maybe add a little bit of depth into this modeling paste, I think I'm going to either go in with this chocolate or this one's an Earl Grey, just to kind of darken the background a little bit. But you can see what I was meaning. I just wanted a little hint of those flowers to come through. So I really like how that part's looking. So I'm going to start off with the gray just because it is a lighter color, and see if I can just work it into some of these little spots. Okay, that didn't work the way I thought, so I think I'm just going to kind of maybe go in some of this weathered wood distress stain and then just kind of wipe off the excess. We'll just try. Oh, yeah, that's weathered wood. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have so far, and you know what? I think it's beautiful. Let me see if you can get a close-up. You can see the depth in this little stencil here. I think that's really cool. So that's what we have so far. So I think next I'm going to work in maybe a title or a quote or something like that, because I like how this is looking so far. And we've had really cold weather, so this kind of looks like spring for me. It's kind of like makes me want to think about spring. So I have to go pick up my son from school, so I will be right back. So this is where we left off for the journal. I just went and picked up my son. He's back from school. This is kind of where it's at. And it kind of, when I came back, everything dried and it dried a little bit muted. So I think in order to kind of rejuvenate it and give it pops of color, I have these mistable thickers from, I don't know what you call them, but mistable pieces from Studio Calico. So I thought maybe I would use some of them So I'm just going to cut them apart. Just that way I can, you know, I'll just do this whole strip. That way it's just easier to kind of pick the sizes that I want to use. So I use, no, I'll do the whole thing. Okay, so for pops of color, I just thought to make everything match, because I have everything out, I'm going to use the Distress Stains. I've got the Evergreen Bough, Picked Raspberry, and Mustard Seed. So I'm just going to kind of give them almost like an ombre look. So if you just get them wet a little bit and you just tap the Distress Stain. Oh, it didn't work too well on this one, but if you just kind of let the stain kind of bleed, it will just kind of fade. That's okay. We'll just make it bleed out. Well, I thought I'm just gonna let these dry off to the side just for a little bit, and then I thought we would come in here with maybe a little bit of Distress Stain just to kind of put a little bit more focus to the center of the page. I'm just trying to find my black ink just to kind of maybe define the edges. All right, so we're just going to define the edges a little bit with some black ink. All right, so I watered down that black just a little bit on the sides. It was just getting a little bit too black. So I just kind of wiped that away. But I do like how it defined the edges quite a bit. And in fact, I have an idea. Just because I like how bright that color is. I think I'm going to go in with some Picked Raspberry Distress ink. Let me just find an ink blending tool here. And I do like how that kind of really brightened it up quite a bit. Okay, and again, it's just a little too bright around the edges, so I'm just going to water that down. And then just kind of pick a bit of it up. Okay, so I feel like I'm neglecting stamps. So I think I'm going to add this one here. I'm not going to mount it. I'm just going to I just want bits and pieces of it. So just put some Distress Stain on there. All right, so that looks a bit better. I like that. Next, I'm going to throw my title on here, and I think we're going to call it done. I really like how it's looking. So, and then we're going to add the butterflies. Can't forget the butterflies. So, I think what my title is going to be is Life is Full of Beautiful Art, Create Some. So, I'm just gonna get my letters together and then I'll be right back.
So I have my book pulled down just a little bit just because what I did is I actually painted my letters because I was going to use matte medium. I didn't want to use distress stain on these letters from Kelly Perky because I didn't want them to smudge when I used the matte medium. But I'm basically going to work backwards. My title is going to be Life is Beautiful. Life is Full of Beautiful Art. Create Some. So I'm just going to work backwards with the Create Some first and get those glued down. And then I'm going to work with the smaller letters backwards. And then I'm just going to fill it in some of the gaps with some butterflies.
Okay,
so hang tight. Sorry, my camera keeps dying because I have very little battery power left. But all I have left to do is just add these little butterflies, which they should be dry. So they're not quite dry, but I'm just going to see if I can manipulate them so that I can just add some quick glue to them and then stick them down. So I feel like that one should go there. Okay, so sorry, I was off screen. Sorry, guys. So I have those glued down, but you know what? They feel like they need some sparkle or something. The butterflies, I mean. It just feels like they're a little bit, they don't stand out. So, what can I put on them? Maybe I'll put some glitter glue on them. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put some glitter glue on. This is just Studio G glitter glue, just because it's sitting right in front of me. That is the only reason why. And I'm just going to see if I can get this going. And I just spit out a whole bunch. That's okay. Okay, now we will get going and we'll add some. I'm worried that that's going to go all over the place. I'm just going to use my fingers. I just finished this page. I'm sorry it cut off, but I didn't realize that I was recording the wrong way. So this is the page. I really like how it turned out. I just added some stickles to the butterflies just to make them pop out. The only thing I wish I would have done was to add some black soot distress ink around the butterflies just to make them pop off the page a little bit. But otherwise, I really like how this page turned out. So thank you for watching Imagination Wednesday. Feel free to join in if you have any suggestions or if I'm doing things wrong because I'm just new to this. Let me know if you have any suggestions or videos to watch. I'd be greatly appreciated. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.